world. This is Petrus Catholic here again, and thank you very much for joining me in this other video. Now, the video that I'll be doing today is just going back on the other video that I did about. We've talked about faith and reason, how both of them are intertwined, both of them are necessary, both of them are not in competition, but they complement each other. And how does God reveal himself to us? And I always say to people, once you understand that faith and reason are necessary, they are not in competition with each other. But now once you understand that God has to reveal himself to you, now you could actually go back in history, and if you're looking to be a Christian, if you're looking to deepen your faith, you could go back in history and see how God revealed himself to us. And the way he did that was clearly in the person of Jesus Christ. Okay? Now, what I like to do, what I had to do was, I heard everybody talk about Jesus. Sorry, since you were a kid, you're like, there you go. Right? And then you go on in church and you see all these people talking about this guy. You're like, what is this? Is he a legend? Is he a nice historical figure? Is he just someone who spoke some very nice things? Is he someone who spoke some very truthful things that will stand the test of time? Is he just a model for truth, love, justice, and all that good stuff? But when you go to in a historical point of view, you see that Jesus actually existed. Okay, it's not a matter of opinion; it's a matter of fact. Jesus Christ existed. He lived on this earth. Now, some people might say, yeah, so what, blah blah. When you look at some historians, I'll go through 3 sources quickly, and I'll put the links on the bottom of this video, and you could go look up these 3 sources. You could look at it from a pagan source. You have pagans who are actually talking about Jesus. From Jewish sources, you had Jews who were talking about Jesus. And from Christian sources, you have the Gospels, the Acts of the Apostles, and everything. From pagan sources, you have, I would say, 3 of the most popular ones who actually spoke about Jesus and Christianity and how it started, how it became this and that. Tacitus, who was a Roman historian, spoke about Jesus. He, in one of his letters, he spoke about how Nero blamed the fire that happened in Rome to the Christians, and he said those people got their roots from a guy who died on the cross, during the reign of Tiberius and so on. I don't have the things with me in front of me, but I'll put the links on the bottom of this video. So he spoke about that clearly. You have, if I see if I can put his name, you have Eusebius. Eusebius, who actually spoke about Jesus as well. Wasn't as critical. He was a little bit milder than Tacitus, but he spoke about Jesus as well, and some of his historical writings. Then you have Pliny the Younger. Maybe again, I can't really say it properly. Where he was talking one of Roman general about the Christians in his community, how they were not acting as those other historians or as the major population was saying, how they were killing people and rioting, but they were living a very good, modest life. So you have these 3 historians clearly talking about the person of Jesus, someone who lived, not someone who figuratively lived, someone who literally lived, who was executed during a reign of a particular Caesar or a particular Roman emperor, and whose followers were still carrying out his deeds. Right? So that's clear. Okay? Then you have the Jewish sources. You have Philo or Philo, however you want to say it, talking about Jesus as well, and the movement, the Christian movement. You have another famous historian, Josephus, who spoke about Jesus. And even when you go in the Talmud was, I believe, a collection of 200 Jewish scholars talking about the law and what happened and stuff like that. And they were saying how Jesus was a man who was doing a lot of miracles. They didn't believe he was the Son of God, but they believed he was someone who was doing a lot of miracles. So, and then you have, of course, the Christian sources with the four Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You have the Acts of the Apostles, wrote by Luke, who was, a historian as well, and he, even when you read the Gospel of Luke, he's very finicky about details, about pointing some points in history. Sorry. So, from a point of history here, just on those three facts, or those on the three sources, you can go back and see that Jesus actually existed. He was here. Okay, he lived, he acted. Now, once you understand that, then you could go through the smoke screen and the sound bites and understand, who was this guy? Why was he so important that 2,000 years later people are still talking about it? Why is he so important that he literally split time in two? Things that happened before Christ and then Anno Domini, the year of our Lord. So why was he so important? Just to say, oh, he was this, just to give him a backhand, really, it doesn't help. You have to understand, what did he reveal? What did he reveal that turned the world upside down? That literally shook the foundations of the human civilization? Why was he so important to some, feared by some, and threatened by some? So you have to understand these three. He was adored, loved, and honored by some. He was feared by others, and he was threatened. Just the idea of Jesus Christ and the Christian, it scared some people, right? So why is one guy creating all of these different type of emotions, right? So that's one of the reasons why I always say to people, start with Jesus. Once you understand, faith and reason and all that stuff, start with Jesus Christ. Go from a point of history. Learn what this guy had to say, okay? And what he had to say is what I'll be posting in the next video. So, again, read some sources, and I'll put some of them on the bottom of this video here, and you'll understand a little bit as to why this guy was so strange and just unusual. That's the only thing you could describe him from a point of history. He did not act like any other philosopher or man of influence at that time, and no one till this day acts like him. So you have to understand what he says. So this is the other video of how God revealed himself through the person of Jesus Christ. And he said a few things that I'll be saying in the other video that really sets him apart from every other either religion, every other ideology of the time, everything. Okay? So this is what I had for you guys today. Hope it made sense. Please comment below. Keep me in your prayers, and I will keep you in mind. Thank you very much for watching. God loves you, I love you, we love you, and be safe.